On the 12th of February 1554, Lady Jane Grey was executed within the walls of the Tower of London. Lady Jane, or we should really call her Queen Jane, had become queen on the death of Edward VI, but she had been deposed by Mary, who became Mary I. She's known as the 9 days queen, but in fact she was queen for 13 days if you take the time from the death of Edward to Mary I deposing her and becoming queen herself and being proclaimed in London as queen. Now, that was the previous July, and so it can be a surprise to some people that it was actually 6 months later that Jane lost her head. She had been put into Edward's device for his succession at his own request, at his own will, because he saw Lady Jane as rightful heir. We know Lady Jane as the 9 days queen because she was proclaimed in London as queen on the 10th of July, and Mary was proclaimed queen in London on the 19th of July. However, Edward had died on the 6th of July, so she would have actually become queen from that point. Edward had named Jane as his successor. I think initially when he put Jane into the line of succession, thinking that he would live long enough for there to possibly be sons in the Grey line that could have taken the throne. But Edward died much quicker than anyone, including himself, had anticipated. The reason he didn't put his half-sisters Elizabeth or Mary into the succession was he genuinely believed, either on a moral or legal or both basis, that neither of them actually had a claim to the throne because they were illegitimate, and by law illegitimate children could not inherit anything, let alone the throne. Jane may have been a woman, but and her claim completely through a female line from Henry VIII's sister Mary, but it was at least legitimate. Jane had been in the Tower since she had gone there to prepare for her coronation, and so this is 6 months hence, from July through to the February when she actually was executed. And she may actually have lived, or at least for longer, had there not been a failed rebellion against Queen Mary I. It was known as the Wyatt Rebellion, and its aim was to overthrow Mary I's forces, depose her, and Jane was their figurehead. She was the one they were going to make queen again. It was a Protestant rebellion, and we can't take that out of the equation, unfortunately. Mary probably had little choice but to have Jane's execution arranged, even though she had not been personally involved in the rebellion. Jane had been tried for treason along with her husband Guildford Dudley the previous November 1553, at London Guildhall, and they had been found guilty. The Wyatt Rebellion really forced Mary's hand. Despite there being a stay of execution, Jane was beheaded at the Tower of London on the 12th of February 1554, and she is laid to rest in St Peter ad Vincula within the walls of the Tower of London.